Welcome back to another one. Today we're back in central London. This time we're in a fantastic gym just off the Regent Street. So about a year ago I did an install where as you can see behind me, we've already got, if you look at the mirrors around the outside, we've got some RGB tape. We've got this big one over here which does this whole big mirror, and then on this side over here we've got both these two small mirrors over here as well. So what they're going to be doing is they've decided that for when the customers that use these reformer facilities are doing their exercises, it looks much better if they have a mirror across the whole way. So today I've just come in and I'm going to be disconnecting the existing two RGB tapes, and then what the building contractor is going to come in is going to take the mirror off and then make the new frame, and then I will come back and then we'll put in the new RGB tape. So originally I used a company called Ultra LEDs. Highly recommend them. They're based up in Manchester. There's a couple of guys there that I always deal with. That's Tom and David. So if you ever have any problems, you just give them a call and they just give you they work it all out. On this particular time, so the measurements were quite some long distances. So you can be really careful when you're installing LED tape to this length, because some you can do 5 meters, some you can do at 10 meters. They actually do a new tape now, I believe, which is 48 watts, I believe. So 48 volts, not 24 volt, 48 volt, which gives you much longer distances. So you might want to give them a shout and speak to them about that. But on this occasion, what I wanted to do was make sure that the lumen output was the same on these ones as it was on the others. So what we've done is we've used the same tape, but we're going to have some smaller sections. But I will explain this when I'm doing the video anyway. But as you can see, it's a fantastic installation anyway. This is just in the daylight, so as you can imagine, when the class is running and it's dark, the actual colours that they get, they can change them. I'll show you how they change them. And yeah, it's just a brilliant bit of kit. So enjoy.
So let's look what you actually get in the box. This is a MyLight Wi-Fi 5-in-1 controller. It's smart home compatible. You can connect it to your Alexa. It's connected to your mobile phone if you wanted to. It runs off a 5.4 gigawatts radio frequency, so it's got a really solid connection. These are the LED drivers that have been used in the smaller sections of the run. And then when we get into the big box, this is where we have the custom made LED tape that I basically got the guys to make them. I gave them a drawing and then they basically spec the whole job out for me in terms of the size of the LED drivers, the lengths of the runs, etc. And as you can see, they've got very long leads of them, because what I have to do, as you'll see on the installations, I have to run them through conduits to get onto the tray to actually get to these connections and where the LED drivers are. So all of this can be done for you, and it's all custom made. Obviously you pay that little bit extra to have that done, but it's one less job for me to do, and all those RGB connections have been done, so it really helps in the installation process and the final product. So we'll start off by disconnecting the existing LED tape.
So as you can see, the guys have now taken off the mirrors, which is fantastic. So I'm going to basically now start running in the LED tape.
So timing's quite critical on a job like this, because obviously when I'm installing this LED tape, if I get in the way of the guys while they're putting it in, it's obviously going to be not great. So I obviously made sure I knew when they were coming in, when the frame had been put up, so it gave me the freedom to be able to work with no one around, to be able to kind of start neatly putting this tape in. For those of you who've not really worked with LED tape before, this is a great way to put it in when it's just working on internal and external bends. You can't really bend LED tape with a flat 90 bend, for example. You'd have to either make a join or use some bendable LED tape, which tends to be more on the smaller gradient, not something on this kind of installation. But yeah, it's just a kind of case of just trying to work the best way. So here I've got this kind of route where the two ends of the LED tape kind of meet together, and I kind of run them through, and then I've got to sort of get them through the conduit over the top. The guys now obviously starting to put the boards up, and I'm already in. Most of my cable work's already sort of done, but it's just the final sort of bits I wasn't really able to do in the time frames that I was given access to work in this property. So basically now we've got all the cabling in. We're now going to be working on connecting up the LED drivers. Haven't used one of these ferrule crimpers very often. This is the perfect way for me to use it because the terminals can be quite tight. These are 480 watt bad boy LED drivers. These run long lengths of the tape. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we had to make some smaller sections due to the lengths being so long. So we had two 10-meter lengths and then we had two smaller sections. So the other LED drivers we would use for those. So if you carefully look at the bottom end of the mirror, you'll see it flashing. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what it's doing there is basically trying to connect to the existing remote control and all the other RF controllers that are all in sync, and that is how we actually get them to sort of work together. And as you can see now, I'm playing around with the remote control there, and that's the bottom one working. So now I'm just going to connect up the top one. That's the top one there. I'll just give it a little thing, and you can just start to see the installation coming together now. It's a really good little bit of kit. I mean, some installations we used DMX controllers where we'll have hardwired connections, but on this installation, as you can see, coming to the end now, it's absolutely looking pucker. And I think really you've got to say that's another job well done.